What's up, beautiful people? It's me, Rickey Jones Jr. for the Rickey Jones Jr. podcast. We are here for another episode, which I'm so excited about, okay? And so as y'all know, the way I want to start this bad boy is shouting out people that have commented or said anything right on the last video. And this one goes out to my friend, Miss Kawita. Shout out to you, lady, who has been rocking with me, since the previous season and things like that. But still shouts out to you because I appreciate your love and your support and being in the comments, right? Those things go a long way. So I appreciate you and I appreciate those who do the same thing as well. Always listen up because you never know when your shout out turn will come. But nonetheless, we'll go ahead and get into today's topic, which is fatherhood, largely because today is my lovely daughter Rain's birthday. She has turned 6 years old, and it's hilarious, right? More than anything because her birthday has been talked about since, I'm gonna say, Christmas. Like, I feel like the first utterance of, hey, my birthday is coming up was around Christmas, if not Rickey's birthday, which was last year, like September. Nonetheless, she's been talking about it for so long. She's been doing videos about it on Facebook and things like that. But she's just been like priming the pump for her birthday, but really not really asking for anything, but just more than anything saying, hey, my birthday is coming up. But she has asked to have parties, but really she doesn't want to go like the Busch Gardens or the water park or things like that. So we'll figure that out. But then she said she wanted to have like a cake and a party at her school, which we worked that out. Shouts out to the lovely Miss Shiva, man. She makes the so great cake. So, quick plug for her. But other than anything, she made sure what she wanted, which was a strawberry LOL cake, came to pass. So shouts out to you, ma'am. You can check on Instagram and things like that if you want to see the cake. But in it all with the all, man, fatherhood is such a phenomenal task, responsibility, and joy, largely because we as fathers have the ability to impact a child's life, right? And that is just so impactful in itself, largely because as we impact a child or our child, we in turn impact other children that come in contact with our children, right? And I see that in various conversations that we have. And one of the things that we're strong about in our family is dinner time. Dinner time is family time. No TVs are on except for like when we're watching service once a month. But outside of that, we are sitting down, we are talking, we're finding out how our days went, we're talking about our days and things like that, and you get to hear what's going on in our kids' lives. And quite honestly, our kids are hilarious. We even thought about doing YouTube videos of those dinners because Rickey is hilarious, right? Our son, Rain, is, oh my gosh, like the girl is growing up tremendously. She already has my heart, but at the end of the day, the things that she says are just hilarious, right? But out of it, I like to say that I get to see what I've said to her, how it comes out in her perspective, right? Because as father, we'll say different things to our kids. However, we all know, we've been children before, they don't always receive it the way you say it. They have their own interpretation on one end, but then they also have their own filters on the other end, but then they also have friends that they say things through and then get their ideas and they run with whatever they think is right. And so all those things are happening in our children's lives, so that when we hear what they have to say, it is also hilarious in most cases what their ultimate thoughts are. And so fatherhood is great, right? Those moments are hilarious, but then too, you get to have fun. You always get to have fun with somebody, or you can just tell them, hey, y'all figure it out. Well, in my case, we have two. So I get to tell them, y'all figure out fun for yourselves. I don't feel like it right now, which is very, very rare, maybe once every other month. But sometimes I'm just like, hey, y'all go figure it out. It's two of you all. You don't have to involve me in every game, which I usually am. But nonetheless, when those cases come, just y'all go for it. But in it all with the all, like I love fatherhood for that respect. But then too, I love it because I get to learn and grow myself. So with that, it's the idea that as I tell them to do certain things, I have the understanding that I should also be doing it, because you can't teach anybody to do anything if you're not willing to do it yourself, right? Unless you're a coach or a trainer or something like that, where you're just dishing out information for somebody to do. But as a father, as a parent, we have to be ones that not only say to do a thing, but do what we tell them to do. So if that means, hey, Rickey, I'll need you to let ladies go first, hold the door for women and things like that, that's ultimately what I have to show him as well. Or here's a funny one. The rules in our house is when you come into our house, you take off your shoes, largely because I am a slight germaphobe, but I've gotten better in time. family, kids, and all those will do that to you. But nonetheless, with it all, I just believe shoes should not just be worn throughout the house. So the saying is, when you come into the door, you shouldn't take more than 3 to 4 steps before your shoes come off. And so we walk in, shoes come off, and if somebody walks in our home or we go to somebody else's home, Ricky's always on it. Hey, take your shoes off. Why your shoes on? Why your shoes on? Take your shoes off. Even to the point where at my parents' house, my son would tell my dad, hey, grandpa, I think he called grandpa, hey grandpa, why are your shoes on? And that's in his house, right? But it's just so ingrained in them, so ingrained in him, that he has even taken that there. And so it's even cool when moments like that come out. It's funny because it's like, hey bro, you can't be telling your grandpa what to do. But it's also cool because it's like, oh, okay man, like, you know, he really does listen. He really did catch what I said. But, you know, in it all, with it all, we started off with Rain. And truth be told, we did start off with Rain. Rain is our first child. Like I said, she's turning 6 today. And so, you know, we're going to have fun. Previously, we just let her decide. Crystal has a phenomenal idea of how birthdays should be, which I forgot like which ages, but you know, in it all, with it all, y'all will see those things. But certain ages she believed birthdays should take place, and I'm cool with it because I really wasn't like a birthday person growing up. I really was one that was like, hey, I'll just take the money and you know, we don't have to have the birthday party. Like, it's cool. I know it's my birthday, so I don't need the party, but just, you know, we're good on that. So hey, she's good with it. I'm good with it. And so, I mean, that's fun, right? That's fatherhood. It's give and take, right? You cooperate. In our situation, we're married family, right? Married couple. And so we do parenting together. And obviously I do the fatherhood part, but even with that, there's that protective side that we as men operate in. And all I'm doing right now is kind of like priming the pump because Father's Day is coming up in the month of June. But nonetheless, with it all, it was just a perfect segue because, like I said, Rain's birthday is today. So she was the reason why I'm a father in the first place. But with it all, you know, we protect. But more than anything, we show, well, I say it's good to show our men. I have a son, so it's even good when I show Ricky how to protect, making sure that the women get to walk on the inside of the street and things like that. Just like I said, making sure ladies go first, open their doors, just so many different things that we do. Always being on the lookout, knowing what's going on around us, making sure that we, you know, have a full understanding and grasp of what's going on, so that if anytime something pop off, we already know what's up. We know which way we need to leave, we know which way we need to go, and we know what we need to do. But you know, it's just those little things that go a long way that I believe that should be taught. I believe that are foundational things of fatherhood, okay? And with it all, in it all, I do have to say this here podcast is sponsored by my lovely wife who wrote this book, Christians Deserve Orgasms Too. And as it says, if we are honest, conversations about sex haven't been encouraged in the Christian community, especially before marriage. This book is not just for married couples, it is a resource for adult singles as well. Sending people into relationships without educating them on how to have great sex is like telling someone to bake a cake from scratch without giving them any instructions. That's what's happening in the Christian community. Then it goes on to say, Christians Deserve Orgasms Too will equip Christians with tools to build intimacy, hygiene tips, and sex positions. Some you will want to try, and others you may determine aren't for you. But at the end of the day, let's all at least agree to stop trying to bake cakes from scratch with no directions. You finally have a safe place to learn about sex. So I'll definitely drop links down below in the comment section because it's on Amazon as well as it's on Barnes & Noble's online, and so you can definitely pick up this book. But with it all, obviously that had to take place for our lovely kids to be here. But with it, I mean, I love fatherhood, I love parenting, and honestly I love it when I see other men doing a great job as well. As I've said before, I love learning from other people, and so I watch and I ask questions largely from people who have kids that are older than mine. I get to ask them, hey, what do you think about this? Or hey, what are you gonna do about that? Or oh man, like your child's about to go to middle school, like how are you preparing them? Or how are you even being prepared? And especially school now, man, school is crazy. And I don't just mean like in a sense of what's going on in schools, but I mean even the amount of schoolwork. Man, Rain right now is in kindergarten. And Rickey's just in daycare right now. But Rain is in kindergarten. When I tell you this homework is epic, like it is epic. And I'm talking about the first semester, which I call it semesters because obviously college was the last schooling that I went to. But the first semester, August to December, they was getting all kind of math. Like I do math, and they were getting all kind of math homework. I'm thinking like, why are you learning greater than and less than in kindergarten? And why are you doing addition and subtraction in kindergarten? And so, I mean, I can only imagine what second grade is going to look like. I feel like second grade is when you're like still adding 2 plus 2. But nowadays she's adding double digit numbers in kindergarten. And so I'm having to try to figure out how to teach her how, to use her hands at first. But now when we get into like 13 and 14, she was asking me, she said, hey, Dad, can I use some of your fingers? I was like, no, man, it doesn't work like that. Largely because I will be in the classroom with you when you are doing your test. So, just finding creative ways on how to add and things like that, how to do homework is a thing. But fatherhood, ladies and gentlemen, or more than anything, men, if you're watching, but ladies and gentlemen, because some ladies may be watching with the idea that, hey, maybe my husband or my man or my baby's father should be watching this, or just get an idea of what it's even like from a male's perspective before you go into marriage or parenting is what I'm here for. So it's fun though. It's fun. It's a journey. And, even me as a father, like I said, with my wife here at the house, we do parenting different. She has a way, I have a way. And, I'm pretty cool at the end of the day with her doing her thing with them, because I feel like the kids know. The kids know who to try, who not to try, who and what things will work with and which parent those things won't work with. So I'll let her do her thing. She'll say things multiple times. I have like a 2 to 3 time limit, especially with age. I feel like 2 times is enough. If I say it after 2 times, we got some problems. But I let her do her thing, and then it's my turn. It's my turn. Like, this is how I'm handling this, and largely I'll let them know this is. If you do it again, this is what's gonna happen. And as hard as it is, man, especially Rainbow, it's so hard because she'll come and she'll cry before anything takes place, and she's like, "I'm sorry, just gonna have another chance." And deep down, we all know, parents, fathers, we want to, we really do. But I had to say it this way just to keep my mind right and to keep me from like being in pain. But speaking of being in pain, like y'all remember that saying before you had a whooping or anything like that, parents will say, it's hurting me more than it's hurting you. Like that's a fun saying, but I get it now. I get it. I get it. I'm on the other side. But in it all, with it all, I had to keep my mind straight. And what I was saying to her at that time was, no, like, I accept your apology, because I genuinely did. But I had to let her know, like, no, I'm gonna do what I said I was going to do because I said I was going to do it, right? I largely, bigger picture, want you to know that if daddy says a thing, that is what daddy's going to do, whether it's good or it's bad, right? It's great when it's good, but hey, it's also great when it's bad, because at the end of the day, there's consistency. And more than anything, as fathers, we have to be consistent with our children, consistent with what we say, consistent with what we do, because more than anything, we are really the foundations, the pillars to the way our families move and grow and vibe and do, right? And so if our kids know, okay, this is how my dad will respond to this is how they think about that, and we can avoid a lot of things, or things won't be a surprise to them when things jump off, or when things don't jump off, or when excitement takes place, or when sad times and things like that. So being consistent is so necessary, because at the end of the day, they deal with a lot out there in school, in daycare, if extracurricular activities, whatever they're doing. It's a lot going on out there in their day. So more than anything, having that safe place at home is what I'm more so advocating for. And being consistent will allow for that safe place to be there, because they already know what to expect, right? Consistency lets you know this is what this is if this happens. If this, then that. That's just what consistency is. And so one consistent thing is, daddy gonna say what daddy gonna do what daddy says. Hopefully they ride with that and they take that to the bank. More than anything, they take it to their family once they bloom and blossom, which I don't even want to talk about. Like, I have some friends that have daughters that have graduated high school, and I'm like, man, like, I know that day's gonna come, but just looking at my little 5-year-old, 6-year-old now, it's like, man, I don't want that. That's a part of fatherhood too. Our kids are gonna grow, and some of them you don't want to grow. Some of them they can't grow fast enough. But at the end of the day, it's a part of it. But in it all with it all, man, I'm just here. I'm here, right? It's her birthday, so definitely be on the lookout. If you follow our Instagrams and things like that, be on the lookout for those celebration extravaganzas, because like I said, Rain has been priming the pump. And at the end of the day, I'm going to have fun the way in which Rain wants to have fun. So if you would, shout out to Rain, telling her happy birthday, showing her love. She would greatly appreciate it. Even if you won't see her seeing it, I'll definitely let her see it, show her those shout outs and things like that. And we'll just rock it like that at the end of the day. So yeah, man, I appreciate you all. But as we do, we got to do a boom or a bust, and this one happens to be a gift in which we bought Rain, right? She did good in school, and so we told her, if you do well in school, we'll get you a gift. And this is one of the gifts that she said she wanted to get. You can pick this up at a mall, but it's like one of these little pop-it purses. For those that are listening on the podcast, it's a pop-it purse. It's in the shape of a butterfly and rainbow. She loves rainbows because her name is Rain, and she says rainbows have my name in it, obviously Rain. And so she had it, and honestly, she probably wore this bad boy 2 or 3 times. And so I don't know, our kids really don't have toys. They do have toys. They don't play with their toys. So now Chris and I are like, we're not buying you all toys. But now I feel like stuff like this, I don't even need to buy as well. Because for what? She's worn it 3 times, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not that she hasn't been out of the house. She's been out of the house more than 3 times. So obviously there's more opportunities to wear this purse, but she hasn't done it. So, obviously that for those reasons, it's a bust. It's a buzz. It didn't pop off the way I thought it was going to pop off. I was excited. I was like, babe, Rain, you have this purse now. I'm so excited for you. I'm excited to see you wear it, matching with your outfits. I'm all hyping it up, right? We in the mall. She's taking her time. Which one do I want? Which one do I want? I'm like, okay, man, this was a long time to be in a kiosk, right? Kiosks are small. You can walk around it in 0.2 seconds. But nonetheless, we spent probably 15 minutes at this kiosk, probably 30, because we had to wait for the person to come back. It's be odd at the mall with kiosks and people walking away that work there. I don't know, whatever. But we were there for 30 minutes, and in it all with it all, she left with this butterfly rainbow pop-it purse that has seen the light of day probably 3 times. And that's probably being a little gracious. Maybe 2. Truth be told. But at the end of the day, it's a bust. But hey, it's kids, right? Kids are gonna do what kids do. But at the end of the day, as parents, as fathers, as we're talking about fathers, we just support, we love, and we give them things that makes them smile, and we just live our lives in the shadow. But no, I'm just playing. I'm talking, but maybe you do. I don't know. But in it all with it all, it was a bust. Okay, man, we're 2 busts this week, so we'll try to get some products on next week and some things on next week that maybe is a boom, and we'll just go and grow from there. So with that being said, I love you all. I appreciate you all. If you made it this far, if you would click that subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. And if you're listening to one of the podcast platforms, go ahead, click that follow button or whatever you need to do to be connected with what this is, because it's great times, fun times ahead, and I want you all to be a part of it. And like I said, links down below for the book Kristen Deserves Orgasms 2, sponsor of this here podcast episode. And yeah, man, let's just have some fun, y'all. Let's rock it, live life, have fun, do what you have to do, make the best of whatever it is that you do. All right, y'all, see you on the next one. Peace.